negative $2,889. It's day 5 of my journey from 0 to 100 million. And look, we've made $5 of progress since yesterday, which is not ideal, but progress is progress. Or at least that's what I tell myself to go to sleep at night. So basically what happened today is I made a profit of $70 from a tutoring session that I would have otherwise not done. Finished the onboarding for a contract that I'm going to start, and I also applied for another job, basically the exact same thing, just another casual job, but I asked them for an extra $1 an hour, because why not? And look, that's how we got the extra $70 today and set up extra lines of income in the future. But I also spent a little bit of money, and that's what I wanted to talk about today. So last night, took my missus out for dinner, we got noodle box, I paid, and we also bought a Wii, bought some games, I paid for the games, she paid for the Wii. Good times. And we had a lovely evening together. And it was actually a really memorable evening. You know, we made each other's Miis, had a few games, beat her at Super Smash Brothers like a boss. And it was a reminder to me that even though I'm doing this challenge and, you know, I am making the money, I am going to hit that $100 million, even if I'm only making that small little bit of progress, so I'm up $5 since yesterday, big whoop. But it's also the experiences that come along the way. So last night, I spent $5, but it's worth it because I had an awesome experience with my wife. And as they say, happy wife, happy life. So I want to make progress every day, but I've also got to come to grips with the fact that part of making progress is going to be having those experiences, having that time off, increasing my motivation to make money so that I can provide more. The more motivation that you have for money, the better. So there's a few cognitive effects that I've been thinking about in terms of this challenge and how you can utilize them in your own life to improve your performance. In terms of the spending money, it reminds me of what Alex Hormozi says is the 5 chimps theory. So the theory is basically that you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. But Hormozi's version is you're the average of the 5 people you compare yourself to. And the more desperate that you are to sort of measure up to their standards, the better that your performance will be. So in terms of money, the 5 people that you compare yourself with, if they are millionaires, billionaires, trillionaires, then anything that's less than that is going to feel like you're a huge, massive failure. And your desperation, your need to make money is going to be so great that you will only pick opportunity vehicles that get you there really super duper rapidly. And that's kind of what I'm trying to achieve with this channel. I've started with the goal of 100 million, and so now most of the money making actions that I'm thinking of, it's like step 1, will this make me money? Great. Step 2, is this a vehicle that will get me out of debt? And is this worth my time? Step 3, will this get me to 100 million? So even though I've just taken on these casual jobs, which I'm very grateful for, and they will get me out of debt and get me on that road, at a certain level, I'm more interested in reinvesting all of that money back into the business, still making a profit every day, but I want to reinvest all of that money because the business is the only thing that's going to get me where I want to go. And I'm desperate to hit that 100 million. The other reason for that is the second effect, which is called the Hawthorne effect. So basically, there were a group of researchers and they go to factories for car manufacturers and they just measure productivity. And every time that they go to a factory, the rate of output would massively increase. And then they'd leave a couple of weeks later and it would just go back to normal. And so the name of the researcher was Hawthorne, and they called it the Hawthorne effect. Anytime that you're getting tracked and you're held accountable, your performance will improve. That's one of the reasons that I'm doing this YouTube channel. It's to hold me accountable to you for pretty much all of my financial decisions. Everything that I do, I'm going to document it here. You're going to be on that journey with me, and I hope that you're going to hold me accountable. So if I do dumb things and I make bad financial decisions, I start failing, I slack off, I don't upload, you're going to let me know about it. And I know that you're going to let me know about it. So it's forcing me, really on an intrinsic level, to make better decisions. Which is awesome. Who wouldn't want to make better financial decisions? So thank you for that. The other effect that I wanted to talk about is the loss avoidance bias. So the idea is that any potential losses are viewed as twice as bad as potential gains. So if you met a dude on the street and he said, coin flip, heads you get $1, tails you lose $1, you'd probably be like, I don't know, I don't feel like losing $1. And if that doesn't mean anything to you, say it's $100. Heads, you win $100, tails, you lose $100. The ratio typically would have to be heads, you win $200, tails, you lose $100. And most people, that's about the threshold. Maybe like 50% of people at that point would go, okay, why not? I'm gonna probably win more than I lose, and it's worth it because if I win one and then I lose the next one, then I'm still up ahead. Anyways, 2-to-1 loss avoidance. In the context of this YouTube channel and this challenge, I view any potential losses from day to day twice as bad as any potential gains day to day. So what that means is, if I'm looking at something, like let's say I want a burrito for lunch tomorrow, and I look at it and I go, okay, today I'm going to have a YouTube video where I've made $20. If that burrito costs $30, I've lost $10. No. It's better for me to keep the $20 that I've won rather than lose the $10 from buying the burrito. On the contrary, if the burrito is like $15 and I've profited $5 for the day, I'm like, okay, I haven't lost anything. My heart rate can settle down. But the thing is, every day I'm going to be buying things. And so that means that every day I'm forcing myself psychologically to make my income exceed my expenses, even if it's only by $1. As long as my income exceeds my expenses, number one, I'm guaranteed to hit 100 million. Yes, it's going to take 4,500 years, but I'm guaranteed every day to not be going backwards. And the other part of that is this idea of fast money versus slow money. So when you think about a business can afford to pay expenses more or less whenever it wants and for any quantity that it wants. Because it can just say, well, if I've got, $1,000 bill due tomorrow, I can just sell $1,000 worth of product tomorrow and then it cancels out, right? Even Stevens, great. But people operate with slow money. So if tomorrow you get an unexpected expense of, say, $10,000, you're going to freak out because you can't necessarily cover it. And the next day, unless it's payday, you have no chance of actually making $10,000. You have what I'm calling slow money. And so one of the things that I'm liking about this challenge is forcing me to get into the fast money idea. So I want to get paid every day rather than having to wait for a payday for my net worth to increase. It's Monday, I want my net worth to increase by Tuesday. Tuesday, I want it to increase by Wednesday. So on and so forth. And that's the main reason that I'm doing these daily updates. I am also going to do a weekly update if these are too many, but don't trick yourself. The daily updates will be where all of the good stuff is, and the weekly updates are pretty much just going to be me summarizing like some of my thoughts. But this is the live action. This is where you're going to get it straight from the horse's mouth. Hopefully, I'll give you a daily dose of inspiration every single day, and we can both make it to $100 million. That's the goal anyways, and if you want to support me with that goal, make sure you click the playlist in the description, watch all of the $100 million series from oldest to newest, and subscribe to the channel. Leave a quick comment letting me know how you're going with your $100 million journey. And look, I'll see you tomorrow for another stellar update.